If you thought this week was going to be quiet for Jakook fans, get ready because we have a lot to talk about. A simple Instagram story ended up sparking theories based on details that almost no one would have noticed at first glance. Between flowers, colors, and certain elements that generated countless interpretations, fans began connecting more pieces than they imagined. The conversation also resurfaced about all those private photos that Jikook probably keeps and that we may never see. And as if fate wanted to remind us of certain things, that moment where Jimin looks at Jungkook during a concert in a way that still melts hearts to this day resurfaced. In addition, there's a recent video of Jimin that left many wondering if we're really seeing a person or a living work of art. Stay until the end because there's a lot to analyze. Jimin shared on his Instagram stories that he was already on his way to Madrid, and as always, he charmed us all with his effortlessly elegant style. Just by saying "on my way to Madrid," he proved that he doesn't need to do much to have everyone's attention focused on him. He looks so good that even the smallest detail of his look made us realize that he is, without a doubt, our favorite prince. But the best part wasn't just seeing him, but what happened next, when we started seeing Jimin greet us in such a special way that we all quickly started calling him Rapunzel. The incredible thing about this story is that at the same time, Jungkook appears, projecting that adventurous energy that we all associate with Flynn. If we look closely at what the two of them do, it's very clear that they are connected in a unique way, as if they were living their own fairy tale. It's no coincidence that Jimin and Jungkook transmit this fairy tale energy at the same time. For us, who follow them and love Jikook, this is yet another sign that they're always in sync, sharing that magical world that only the two of them possess, and that makes us so happy to see. It's exciting to see how, even while traveling, Jimin and Jungkook manage to make their actions perfectly match. They're a couple who always thrills us with every gesture, maintaining that connection that keeps us watching their videos again and again. After Jimin posted his photo, many people looked closely and noticed things that no one had seen at first, but which now make perfect sense to Jikook fans. The first thing that caught everyone's attention was the sunflower on his bag. The sunflower is a flower that symbolizes happiness, hope, and above all, the freedom to be yourself. For us, this is a clear sign of what Jimin and Jungkook experience, the freedom to love each other and be happy just as they are, with nothing else mattering but their own joy. Then, the hashtag Dior in different colors stole the show because it closely resembles a rainbow, the global symbol of love in all its forms, inclusion, and pride. Jimin's choice to highlight this detail alongside the sunflower speaks volumes about the values he and Jungkook share. It's a direct way of seeing how they use their image to represent the love we so strongly support. These aren't just objects or accessories, they are messages they choose to include so that we, those who observe them closely, understand the importance of their relationship. It's very clear that Jimin knows exactly what he's doing when he chooses these details, and Jungkook is always there, contributing to that same positive energy. Whether they chose them for their own pleasure or to send us a message, the truth is that these gestures have made us all talk about their relationship and feel closer to them. It's special to see how each detail resonates with our hearts because it confirms that their bond is real and that they are happy. For the Jikook fandom, these are proofs that between Jimin and Jungkook, there's a love story that continues to unfold with every little detail they share. We all know that when Jimin and Jungkook are together, they're always capturing adorable moments with their cameras. It's clear they have a huge number of photos of the two of them on their phones, which, unfortunately, are part of their private lives and may never be seen. But even so, we can't deny that every time they share a moment together, it's obvious they're creating precious memories. As Jikook fans, our greatest hope is that, at some point, they'll decide to share even a little bit of all those photos they have as a couple, because we know their image is filled with truth. That phone they share as a couple isn't just an object, it's where they keep the story of their relationship and all those moments that only they know about. For us, seeing how naturally they act confirms that they don't need to hide the way they used to. Every time they're together, you can see that connection between two people who have an album full of shared moments that belong only to the two of them, and that makes us feel that Jikook is more real than ever. What truly moves us is understanding that even though we don't see those intimate photos, what they show to the public is just a small part of a much larger connection. Simply knowing that all those memories exist, stored on their phones, is enough to understand the level of commitment they have to each other. As fans, we patiently wait for them to share some detail of those moments, but in the meantime, we find comfort in seeing that Jimin and Jungkook have a personal space where they care for each other, love each other, and keep their happiness away from the eyes of others. We vividly remember that moment at the concert when Jimin sees Jungkook on the giant screen and becomes completely absorbed in his every move. Jimin spends several seconds staring intently, following every note Jungkook sings and every step he takes, as if everything else around him has completely disappeared. It's a very clear scene where Jimin can't take his eyes off him because his attention is focused exclusively on the person beside him, someone who means so much to him. The most special thing about this moment is that little smile that appears on Jimin's face. It's a small smile, but you can see that it's full of love and admiration for his Jungkook. It's not a planned reaction, it's the sincere response of someone watching the person he loves doing what he does best. Seeing Jimin like that teaches us what it truly means to have someone you can trust, someone you can deeply admire and with whom you feel a connection that doesn't need words, just a look and that smile that says it all. These kinds of moments are what always show us why Jikook is such a beautiful and solid couple. Jimin and Jungkook constantly teach us that affection is shown in the simplest details, like watching each other with pride while they work or simply sharing a supportive gesture during a concert. Every time Jimin looks at Jungkook like that, he reaffirms to all of us that their relationship is a safe place where they both feel comfortable. That's why we never tire of watching these videos, because they are the clearest proof that there is a bond of mutual admiration between them that makes us so happy to support. If someone were to watch this video without knowing who Jimin is, they would think it was a computer-generated edit because he looks so stunning. His skin, his delicate features, and the elegant way he moves seem like something out of a drawing or a digital character. Jimin has a unique ability to look like a true work of art in motion, and this is something we notice every time he appears in front of a camera. He is so perfect that, at times, he seems unreal, and that is exactly what makes us pay attention from the first second, feeling that we are watching someone who takes special care with every detail of his image. The most impressive thing of all is that, although his beauty is the first thing that catches our attention, what truly makes it impossible to look away is the aura he exudes. No filter or modern technology can replicate that natural charm that Jimin possesses. He doesn't need visual tricks to stand out because his mere presence fills any space, just as he did at the recent fashion show in Paris. For us fans, seeing Jimin is confirmation once again that he's someone special, and every appearance gives us hundreds of new reasons to continue admiring him, supporting his projects, and enjoying his constant evolution as an artist. However, we know that behind the perfection seen on camera, there's a human side that only those very close to him know. It's in those moments that we think of Jungkook, because he's the one who best understands that natural charm that fascinates us so much and who best knows how Jimin shines when he feels supported. When Jimin looks this impeccable, a unique confidence shines through in his every step, and that's something only someone who feels loved and valued by their partner can project to the world. For those of us who follow Jakook, Jimin isn't just a perfect artist, he's a person who inspires us with his style, and seeing how he maintains that unique essence is what makes his relationship with Jungkook feel so solid and precious in our eyes. This display of style in Paris not only leaves us with memorable images, but also reinforces the idea that Jimin is the central figure in many of our favorite stories. It's fascinating to note how, even though he's the center of attention, there's always an invisible connection with Jungkook that we, as dedicated fans, can identify in his smile or the way he walks. This combination of elegance and authenticity is what makes Jimin such an important figure to us. He gives us moments of pure admiration, and we, observing from a close perspective, know that much of his brilliance comes from the very special relationship he has with Jungkook, which makes us feel that every fashion show and every appearance is another step on their journey together. The look Jimin wore to Dior's Spring/Summer 2027 menswear show had everyone talking, and his coat has a story that goes far beyond what meets the eye. Upon closer inspection, it's clear the piece bears an uncanny resemblance to a very old velvet coat, made around 1775, which is part of a highly exclusive private collection in the UK. These details are no mere coincidence. The silhouette, the intricate embellishments, and the garment's construction show that the designers chose to look to the past to create something entirely new, elegant, and sophisticated specifically for Jimin. Although the brand hasn't officially confirmed this historical inspiration, for those of us who closely follow his work, there's a clear influence from 18th century fashion. It's truly impressive to see Jimin wearing a garment with such historical significance, because he possesses that natural ability to make classic pieces feel modern, current, and fresh. Watching him walk with such confidence and command of space, it's clear that Jimin doesn't choose his outfits simply because they're fashionable. He knows how to project a powerful and unique image that captures the essence of other eras, demonstrating that his taste for haute couture and attention to detail knows no bounds. What makes this moment so special for us, Jakook fans, is imagining the complicity behind each style choice. We know that Jimin and Jungkook always support each other in their personal and professional decisions, and they share that particular taste for sophisticated details that make them stand out from the rest. Seeing Jimin shine in such an elegant look, inspired by museum pieces, is yet another example of the security and confidence he projects when he feels supported by his partner. It's fascinating how a historical detail becomes the main topic of conversation and allows us to understand a little more about Jimin's personal world. For us, seeing Jimin looking so impeccable and with such meticulously curated style reinforces our firm belief that he and Jungkook cultivate an environment filled with good taste, quality, and dedication. This look is, without a doubt, one of the clearest proofs that Jimin has his own unique and avant-garde vision. Ultimately, this moment reminds us that Jimin's greatness lies not only in what he wears, but also in the peace and balance he projects to the world. He gives us moments of pure admiration, and we, observing from afar, know that much of that light comes from the very special relationship he has with Jungkook. This blend of history, fashion, and emotion is what makes their union so important to us. Every appearance of Jimin is another step on their journey together, and we are here to witness how, whether wearing an 18th century coat or any other garment, his essence remains the same, an incredibly talented person who shines even brighter when Jungkook is by his side. There are beauties one never tires of gazing upon, and Jimin is undoubtedly one of them. He melts our hearts not only with his impeccable posture but with every expression, the way he walks, and the vibrant energy he radiates wherever he goes. Seeing him in that coat steeped in history, he looked like a little prince, brimming with life, who had escaped from a palace. There was such pure joy in his steps and such playful elegance that it wasn't hard to see how all of Paris was swept away by his rhythm. He has that unique ability to make the entire world stop just to watch him shine. For us, who know every facet of his personality, seeing him so free is like witnessing a moment of absolute happiness that transcends any screen. In those eyes that mesmerize everyone, there is a purity that makes us forget the problems of daily life. It's as if, with every turn of his head or every step he takes, he spreads a special light around him. Watching him behave, with that spark of innocence mixed with a natural nobility, is a magical experience that fills us with calm. For us, seeing Jimin is feeling a profound peace, as if we were in the presence of someone who brings a message of kindness to the world. What we feel when we look at him is difficult to explain in words, because it's an emotion that reaches straight to your soul and makes you smile without you even realizing it. It's that kind of energy that only someone with a noble heart can transmit, turning any public event into an intimate and special moment for those of us who follow him with such affection. It's impossible not to see in this special light the person who always accompanies him and makes him shine even brighter, Jungkook. When Jimin appears so free, joyful, and radiant, it's because he has that confidence that only someone who feels truly loved and valued can project to the outside world. For those of us who follow Jikook, seeing Jimin in this state of happiness is the greatest proof that their relationship is that safe place where they can both be themselves, without fear and with complete trust. The purity that Jimin radiates is neither a coincidence nor something artificial. It's the truest reflection of the harmony he shares with Jungkook, who is always present, nurturing that beautiful energy that we so admire and respect in every appearance. Seeing Jimin amidst so many lights and cameras makes us wish that moment would never end, because he transmits a sense of well-being that we don't want to lose. He is like a star that illuminates our path, reminding us that authenticity and nobility are the most precious values. As he continues to shine with that unique spirit, we remain there, contemplating him with overflowing hearts, knowing that all the joy he shares with the world is the same joy that he and Jungkook cultivate daily in their private space. It is an immense privilege to witness this magic, knowing that behind every gesture of Jimin, there is a real and powerful connection with Jungkook that makes their entire world so much brighter. That complicity that unites them is what makes this moment eternal, reminding us that, as long as they are together, the magic will never cease to exist.